I think everyone procrastinates at least some of the time. But for some of us, it's a bigger problem or a bigger challenge than for others. And today I want to talk about what you can do about this if this is a challenge for you. Hi, I'm Lukas and I'm a tech lead in a German software company, and I've struggled with procrastination regularly, and I still sometimes do, but I found some methods that work for me and I want to share them with you today. So first of all, I think you're familiar with this thought or this situation that you want to do something, you want to work on something, but somehow you don't feel like it, or you can't bring yourself to do it, and you don't understand, why can't I just act? And the question is what to do about this. I have a few thoughts on this topic, and I will try to share them in a structured manner with you in the next few minutes. The first important thought that you have to understand is that procrastination usually is a sign, at least for me, of overwhelm. You're overwhelmed by something. Maybe it's your emotions, something blocking you from outside of work that you have to process first before you can start focusing on work. But oftentimes it's the work itself that overwhelms us. For instance, for me, often there's either too much ambiguity. I don't know where to start or what to do exactly. Maybe there's no clear prioritization available. No one prioritizes for me, so I have to do it myself. I can't decide. Everything seems equally important. And last of it, maybe I have too high expectations towards the quality of my work or the amount of my work that I have to do. I think I have to do everything at once and do everything to the fullest extent and perfect. Maybe I'm fearing failure in addition to this or something like this. So those are the three main reasons why I tend to procrastinate at work. There's so much to do and I don't know where to start, or I have too high of an expectation for something that I want to do. So how to deal with this? The idea that I want to present is to basically lowering your expectations, which sounds easy or simple at first, but it's actually hard to do in practice. So before you start to think about what you want to do exactly, try to breaking it down to the first step, the easiest step that you can do in this topic or in this task, and then try to focus only on this. And instead of thinking you have to do everything, decide you just have to do one thing. One single thing. You can't multitask and you can't do everything at once. It's physically impossible, so you have to prioritize, and it's better to start somewhere than to do nothing at all. And this is the easiest way that I notice, like pick an easy task and start there. Start to do one simple thing that you have to do. And the important thing is to maybe write it down, or flesh out the task with more details and write down exactly what you need to do to accomplish this task, starting with very basic steps. Maybe just turn on the computer, start the browser, open up a certain website, and then you can proceed from there. So if the task is still overwhelming you, then the steps that you wrote down are probably still too big, or you have too big of expectations when you have to finish them, or when you need to accomplish them, or what you need to accomplish with them. Try not focusing so much on the result that comes in the end, but focus more on the first step that you need to take or that you want to take to progress. Because as soon as you start to progress in this task, you build momentum. It's like in chemistry, to light a fire, you need activation energy. And as soon as the activation energy was put into the fire, the fire will start burning itself and it just accelerates. And if you're uncareful, it can even turn into a forest fire or something like this. So this shows how much power it can create. But the first spark, in the beginning, you have to add some activation energy to ignite the spark. And this is what you're trying to do by simplifying the task. Of course, you have a big mountain of work to do, but if you're constantly thinking about this, then you won't make any progress. But if you're just focusing on getting this first spark of energy into this fire. Like when you're igniting an actual fire, maybe a campfire, you don't try to like pour gas on it before the flame was created, but you're trying to carefully get a spark there, and then you blow carefully to extend the flame, to raise the flame, and then when it's burning you can add more and more logs. And this is the way to accelerate, not only on a tiny scale, maybe for a day or for an hour, but also on a big scale over the course of days and weeks. You can start to approach bigger projects and you get more confidence to manage them properly. And another aspect of this that I want to talk in another video that I will record today but upload in a week after you've seen this video is to accept imperfect solutions. So this is also connected to procrastination, but you can't do much about it when you're in the situation that you're procrastinating. You have to do it in the situation when you're actually doing the work and finishing a task. If you're constantly thinking when working on something, this isn't good enough, I have to do better, it's unfinished, I don't like how it turned out, then of course next time you don't want to even start doing the work. So instead what you can do is to accept an 80% solution, or maybe even less. For me, I think that 80% is often enough, not in all regards. There are situations when you need to have 100%, like if you're doing, if you're a surgeon, if you're doing surgery or something like this, then you can't do 80%. You have to do maybe 99.9% accuracy, but in most cases, 80% is more than enough, maybe more than other people do. And I like the Pareto principle a lot, that 20% of inputs produce 80% of outputs. It's often true. It's often like this. So try to not search for perfection every time, because this perfectionism, it raises the expectations that you put on yourself. It raises the weight that you have to carry through each task. Another phenomenon that I want to add to this list is that you may be able to start tasks, but sometimes you just level off very fast, or at some point you can't motivate yourself to continue with this task. And in my experience, it's been sometimes that if you start to get some traction, actually, if you start to get some success with it, then in your mind you start to raise the bar too high. So the level to which you want to reach is suddenly raised a lot and you can't catch up to it. So the way to fix this is to remind yourself at this point that you're still learning, that you're still a student, that you don't have to have perfect solutions or perfect results each time, that you're learning from each instance that you're producing, and then you can get feedback and continue learning. So don't put too much weight on you. In all cases, reduce the amount of work that you have to do initially. Focus just on this first step. Act like a student. Try to learn from it and focus on this learning. You will produce results quickly, even if you don't think that you're doing it in the first moment. But if you're approaching it with a constantly improving mentality, then you will eventually get good at it and produce much bigger results that you initially expected. Anyway, this was my take on procrastination. I understand there are a lot of different approaches. There are a lot of different issues or problems. I can't cover all of them. I can't know all of them. So maybe you can add something to this list down in the comments, share what you learned about procrastination in your case. And yeah, maybe we can all procrastinate a little bit less together. See you.